I represent Carolyn Brzoski in an upcoming legal challenge against the Waterloo Region District School Board for the violation of Mrs. Brzoski's freedom of expression rights. Mrs. Brzoski is a former teacher at the District School Board where she served for decades, up until the unfortunate event that has led to this legal challenge. She left the school board shortly after being censored at a public school board meeting, kicked out of the school board meeting, and then accused of bigotry by the board for merely questioning some of the sex and gender related material being introduced to children in schools. On January 17th, 2022, she appeared at a school board meeting relating to library materials. She had been allotted a 10-minute time window in which she could express her views about the material. However, she was not permitted to complete the presentation because the board did not approve of what she was expressing. She attempted to address concerns about what she calls the age appropriateness of books that the schools had placed in kindergarten to grade 6. One of the examples that she used in her presentation was that of a book called The Other Boy, which deals with and teaches children about medical sex transition for children. Mrs. Brzoski's concern was that the book was not age appropriate because, in her view, it spoke to children of sex transition too casually. Mrs. Brzoski also wished to display some of the material present at the schools so the public could see them. But she was silenced 4 minutes into her presentation on the basis that her views might violate the law. The problem with this is that the school board is a state actor, and the school board is required to uphold freedom of expression, which is a right that is guaranteed in our Constitution, which is the supreme law. Instead, however, the school board not only prohibited Mrs. Brzoski the right to bring her legitimate concerns to the board, they also denied parents and the public the right to hear the concerns of an experienced and thoughtful teacher about the age appropriateness of materials being introduced in their schools. The school board has drawn an arbitrary and invisible line prohibiting speech and ideas that they do not approve of. However, freedom of expression in Canada is applicable not only to information or ideas that are favorably received or regarded as inoffensive or as a matter of indifference, but also to those that offend, shock, or disturb the state or any sector of the public. That is precisely what a free and democratic society demands. My intention is to have the court declare the school board's decision a violation of the charter and to permit Mrs. Brzoski to return to the board and complete her presentation. And we can only keep up the fight for the rights of Mrs. Brzoski and of all Canadians with your help. So please consider supporting the work of the Justice Centre so that we can keep up this fight for the constitutional freedoms of all Canadians.